G'day guys, happy Friday. Welcome back to the channel. It's Jimmy Trades. Thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, please sub to the channel, share the channel around, and give the video a thumbs up. All your support is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much, guys. First of all, just wanted to mention Ascetic Capital. So Ascetic Capital is launching in 9 days, 29th of September. So I will be starting to share a little bit more information about this amazing game-changing prop firm that's launching on the 29th of September. Be ready for maybe a giveaway or two, promo codes. We'll see what happens. I'm going to leave the Discord link in the description, so help yourself go and join. You can check out all the chat in the Discord and see what is coming our way on the 29th of September. Also wanted to mention that we have Apex sales still until the 30th of September. So there's plenty of news next week that we could utilize those opportunities to expedite some evals. Apex is really looking like the only firm at the moment to allow us to trade news and expedite those evals, and obviously build our capital up to 20 PA accounts. So 80% off, $35 resets and 1 day to pass using code Jimmy until the 30th of September. Also, my funded futures have a first time user promotion at the moment. If it's your first time getting into a prop firm or first time using my funded futures, you can take advantage of an amazing 40% off deal. So using code Jimmy again, you can get a 50K starter for $48 a month, and that's recurring. 100K for $90 a month, or a 150K for $132 a month, which is an amazing deal to get into your first futures prop firm. Keep those in mind, guys, as we head into Friday, as we head into the new week. Let's roll on to where we always start, and that is the calendar. Okay, so we have no news today. Okay, no news Friday. So we'll just be trading cautiously today. We'll be waiting for open, 9 a.m. for commodities, 9:30 a.m. for indices, Eastern Standard Time. But you can see here we have a handful of red folder news days next week, and they're the sorts of days to look to expedite those evals. All right, guys, let's move on over to the charts and see what we can come up with today. So here we are on ES. Let's start there because ES reached all-time highs yesterday, and that was, even though we had a neutral bias yesterday, that was the idea. The idea was that we would likely reach to all-time highs, but the market will and always will do whatever it wants to do. So whilst that was the idea, the fact that price was located above old highs, was also located at this bearish FEG, we would generally have that bearish bias. But with the way the candle was quite aggressive yesterday and being so close to all-time highs, we took a neutral bias into the session that allowed us some flexibility when looking for a position. But today is a new day. We've swept the old high, we've created all-time highs. So I'm now looking for a bearish bias today on ES. So if we're looking for a bearish bias, here is our closest liquidity point, but then we have this tiny little FVG just down here. Of course, not saying that we're going to get there today, but this is where our draw would be towards. Let's have a look here now on the hourly. So on the hourly, this bullish FVG is still supporting price. We can see that price is struggling to get through this level. But if we do break through, then we have potential here for a bearish breaker. We have high resistance liquidity on our side of price. We have all these value swings through here, low resistance liquidity. So this would be our first target. If we do get some displacement through here, we don't have, the change in state of delivery just yet. So be keeping an eye on that as well. Here we have some low resistance liquidity. But until we see this change in the state of delivery, we're just moving through the session, the AM session, with caution. We really wanted to see some displacement here. We haven't got any of that. We've moved down, we've consolidated. So although I have a bearish bias on the daily, I'd be more inclined to be neutral on the hourly until we see a defined move. You can see prices just been in this tight little range today, at least for the last several hours. Okay, let's have a look at NQ while we're on indices. So what we do have is we do have a bearish SMT with ES. ES created a higher high here while NQ created a lower high. So that's the first thing to note on the daily. And we were above all these highs here. So with that SMT in mind, we're above old highs. Also looking for bearish price today on NQ. Let's move down to the hourly. And we don't have a change in the state of delivery just yet. If we were going to see a change in the state of delivery, yes, usually I like to see it on the left side of the chart, but if we see one now, then we'd like to see something, through this current level with displacement through here to confirm that change in the state of delivery. So similar approach to ES. We did have this bullish move. Obviously ES has found support in a hourly FVG. We don't have that on NQ at the moment, but it's similar price action here to ES. We're in this tight range. So keeping an eye on this, remaining neutral on the hourly structure for now, with a bearish bias on the daily. We can see here that price has reacted off this order block. Again, just something to keep in mind as we look for a position today. Okay, let's have a look at oil. So I took an L on oil yesterday, or a business expense as I like to call it. We'll have a quick look at that trade. So we had a bearish bias coming into the day. Price was located inside a bearish FVG. We had started to move away from that level. Okay, and then when we drop down to the hourly, let's get the replay up. So on the hourly, price swept this high inside of our higher time frame point of interest. So we got a sweep here, and then that's when we drop down to the 5-minute. We also swept the London highs, so that's, we can probably get rid of that because that was the same level that we're looking at. So we swept a session high, which I liked. And then I was looking at this level here as our breaker, these 3 consecutive candles. If we run the trade forward, we had displacement. We have a FVG aligned with our breaker. In fact, we have 2 of them. And then at this point, I set limit orders. I had my stop at this level here. I was looking for 2R at a minimum. And what I liked about this trade as well is we had a bearish bias. We swept a session high, which I really liked. We had a breaker, FVG aligned with the breaker, but we were also above midnight, and we had the London low in play as well. So a lot of this confluence here for me was a go signal. For me, this was an A+ trade. And we see that price tags us in, I think, on this candle here. And you get a little bit nervous with that. It was quite an aggressive candle, but then straight away we move lower. And it was at this point here, price had quite aggressively come down, and I was actually quite happy with the position. Unfortunately, price did retrace, and after a period of time, I got stopped out. And there it was. So, I think I sat in that trade for about an hour and 45 minutes. But it's just part of doing business. So I just move on to the next. I documented it and called it a day, and then moved on. So today's a new day, and we'll seek another entry. Turn replay off. That always helps. Okay. Let's have a look at the daily again. So price is still inside this bearish FEG. Currently, price has respected the consequent encroachment or mid-level of this FEG, which I do like to see. So still with a bearish bias at this stage. Price has formed an order block here, so that'll be a point of interest to keep an eye on to see how price reacts through that level if it does in fact move lower. So I'll be keeping an eye on this. But bearish bias on oil purely because of where price is located. On the hourly rather, we do just have this structure continuing to move up, just trending higher. So we don't have a change in the state of delivery just yet by the looks. Let's zoom in a little bit. We do have some displacement here actually. So we've got some displacement through this level here. This would be our change in the state of delivery. You can see price did close through and it's now retesting that level. So I'll be watching to see if that change in the state of delivery can hold. But I'm not bearish on the hourly structure just yet. So until my bias and narrative and logic are aligned, then I tread cautiously and I won't look to execute. Okay, having a look at Euro futures. So we've been pushing out of this bullish FEG. So maintaining our bullish bias, I'd still be targeting this level as our initial level and then the equal highs here if we're able to get some sort of good move higher. So remaining bullish on Euro on the daily. We see here we got this continuation breaker, unicorn, that has supported price quite nicely. Interestingly, our 2R, if we were to look at it like that, is at these highs here, which is our initial target. If you were to pull your projections from here, the equal highs are within striking distance. So remaining bullish overall for Euro future. Seem to have gotten the gold bias correct. It's continuing to move higher at a swing high currently. So generally speaking, we would start to look for a bearish bias from here, but we can see there's quite a bit of strength in the candle at this stage. That's where we look down to our hourly structure. And we don't see any signs of bearish price action just yet. Price is being supported by these bullish PD array. We have another nice gap here. So we're watching to see how price reacts. So I'll have a neutral bias for the daily on gold, just because of where price is located, but remaining bullish on the hourly structure. Okay, we got that move out of this bearish FEG. So keeping this same idea, we want to see price reach for this low. So we're keeping a bearish bias from internal to external is what we're looking for. So keeping that bearish bias on Dixie. A quick look at Euro USD. Similar to futures, obviously. So we've got the move out of the bullish FPG and we're reaching for these highs. So the same idea as futures, looking bullish to reach for these highs. GBP hasn't disappointed lately, continuing to move with our bias, and price is now closed above the old high here, and also this legacy high over here. The next level of liquidity is in this bearish FEG. Which is a touch higher. We've already taken out previous day high here. We're at old highs, obviously. So I'll be looking for price to turn around here today. Let's drop down to the hourly. So we don't have a reversal yet or a change in the state of delivery. This would be a good level if we can get displacement here. We are leaving a gap at this stage, but we've just opened this current candle, so we'll keep an eye on that. All right, perfect, guys. Let's wrap it up there today. I think we've had a pretty good week. Taken one trade so far this week, which was a loss, but that's okay. We move on, we take lessons and we learn from that. And we've still got today to play out. So we'll see what happens today, see if we can get a trade and get some profit on the week. Otherwise, please remember to sub to the channel, guys. Please give the video a like and also leave your comments down below. I'm always happy to hear what you guys have to say, provide information, respond. I try to respond to all the messages, so feel free to leave a comment below. And have a great Friday, guys. Have a great weekend, and we will see you again next week. Bye for now.